Hi, my name's Craig Caton. I'm a visual effects artist from Hollywood, and I've worked on movies like Jurassic Park and Terminator 2 and Ghostbusters and Edward Scissorhands. And I just really enjoy what I do for a living, so I just have a lot of fun. I think sure, I think it's great for you to have knowledge. You should, if you're going to do like an effects heavy film, you should probably have a little bit of knowledge about doing those effects. But even more importantly, I think you can, if you don't have that knowledge, go ahead and hire the best people hire the best people in the world that have that knowledge, because they're just going to complement you. And they'll know the right way to do it. And so if you hire like a really great special effects supervisor, they'll have the knowledge, and that will be your brains for that. So not necessarily. I still think it's really important for the directors to become really good storytellers and be able to clearly and concisely describe to the visual effects people what they want. And if they have a clear vision of what they want, then it's that much easier for the visual effects people to create their vision. It's been a very interesting journey because, first of all, it was all practical for years and years. And then when CGI came in, everybody thought, this is it. We're going to replace all the practical stuff. And they kind of did that, right? But then they found out that sometimes it just doesn't work as good as doing something practical. I think they both feed off of each other, and I think that if you have knowledge of both of them, you can take advantage of both of them. So like for instance, maybe maybe you have a really great upper body for a suit, but maybe so like this is a great robot, and you have a guy walk around, but the legs just don't work. So you go ahead and use the practical robot for the upper body of the suit, and then replace the human legs with robot legs in post. So I think it's going to be it's a blend of the both. It's whatever works best for that shot, I think should use it. Talking about practical effects, I think it's important. A lot of directors are going back to practical stuff, and the reason I think is because you get all of that interactivity with the actors on the set. It's not the actors looking at a green screen and going, oh, look at that dinosaur. If they actually have a dinosaur that they can interact with and touch, their performance is obviously going to be just that much better, I think. And so I think that it's a blend of the both, and we shouldn't abuse either one. It's like where the practical effects can't do it, we should jump into the computer effects. And if we don't have to, stay with the practical effects, because we have all that stuff we get for free, the interaction. And if we want to, like, say, change the take in the middle, like, hey, that was really good, but let's have him talk from this side this time. You can do that, but when you do the CG stuff, you start to lock yourself in a lot earlier into those things where you can't turn around and come back. Oh, I would say absorb everything you possibly can. Yeah, I would tell my younger self, the other people, like, this technology is not going to go away, and you should know as much about it as you possibly can. Maybe not become an expert in it, but the more you know about it, the more you can take advantage of that tool to use in your own tool bag. So, because if you know, like, if you're familiar with, like for instance, we do puppets, and we'll do rods on those puppets for those arms and stuff like that. And we could make a really complex cable control arm that had no rod controls on it, and we would get a pretty good performance, but we wouldn't get as good as performance or fast or as simple as we just had that rod. But now we know that we can do those rods, and we have other guys that can very, very easily replace those rods and get rid of them in CGI. So it's time for everybody to come together and work together, because one's going to complement the other and vice versa. Sure, yeah. There are three movies. When people ask me that question, there's three movies that quickly come to mind. The first one was Ghostbusters, because everybody, when we were working on it, we knew we had a fun script, and we knew that the effects that we were creating were like nothing had ever been done before, yet they were fun effects. They were, they weren't like serious. They were fun, goofy ghosts, And everybody working on that movie, we just fell in love with that movie. And I think that love comes through on the screen. I think that's where it is. The second movie was like the last movie that used entirely practical stuff, and that was a movie about some worms called Tremors. And the movie, we worked on it on very extremely difficult situations. We were up in a very hot desert. It was about 120 degrees every day, but it was also at very high elevations. So the elevations were like 6,000 and 7,000 feet above sea level, which when the air actually starts to get thinner, and just to like walk across the room, you would be out of breath. But because of the demanding situation, the whole crew became like this tight-knit little family that looked after each other. And we had such a great time making that movie. And I think when you watch Tremors, again, that fun comes through, right? And then my third one, of course, is Jurassic Park. It's just because they came to me and they said, money and time, not an issue. Go make the best dinosaurs you possibly can. And we're like, okay, we'll do that. And we did, and everybody, and we would come up with these great ideas, and Steven Spielberg and the people, they would see those ideas and they go, wow, that's a great idea. And so everybody got on board very quickly, and I think the result, I think it shows in that movie how great everything came out. One of the things that I look out for in my students, passion. Passion, yeah. That's the big word. My quick little advice for the young and up and coming filmmakers. I was able to be as successful as I was because I was able to stand on the shoulders of giants, of the people who did this cool stuff before me, and I was able to take their cool stuff and take it to the next level. And that's where you are now. You're able to stand on our shoulders and take the cool stuff that we did and take that to the next level. And that's what excites me, is watching the young people and the artists taking what we gave them and then doing something completely brand new and different. And I can't wait to be amazed by that. So thank you.